Today we're going to pick up again on Mrs. Gren and the principles of a vital life. We've already looked at movement, respiration and sensitivity. So today we're going to look at growth. That's the result of a healthy life. If the church stops growing, it's going to die. No growth is a sign of decay and death. Remember when we talked about the lesson of the semicircle, sometimes there's pruning back the branches, but it's in the aim of creating more growth and better fruit. Reproduction. The multiplication of an organism is what is about. As we look at this coronavirus, we see the multiplication, the reproduction of the virus and the R number, its reproductive number. If you think about the R number, for Christians, it should always be above 1. Every Christian should be going out to make at least one other Christian. Also, that passing on of the faith must be done to the next generation. Our children have got to be stronger than we are. Our ceiling has got to be their floor. We've got to raise up our children. Are we investing in those younger than us? And are we building up their faith? The sixth element is excretion. Every heart builds up a collection of junk throughout the day that needs to be emptied. We empty it through the process of repentance, about changing our minds about what we did, and by discipline. The junk is primarily the sinful attitudes that we have and negative behaviors and their results. It may be bitterness springing up from unforgiveness. If we don't, it's the same as the body not ridding itself of the waste it's accumulated. It brings discomfort, disease, and eventually death. The toxins are called the root of bitterness, according to the writer of Hebrews in Hebrews 12, verse 15. And we need to remember that God's grace can clean us. Sometimes the church has to expel the unrepentant brother, giving the opportunity to come back into the faith and the fellowship. Sometimes that badness is so much that it needs to be excreted. And the final of the 7 is nutrition. Living things have to take in nutrients or they'll die. Jesus is the bread of life. So to live, we must dine on his words. Jesus said that his food was to do the will of the Father in John 4. So obedience to the word is important for our nutrition and our health. The heptagon shows us the signs of life: movement, action in response to the prompting by God; respiration, a steady rhythm of two-way prayer; sensitivity, the ability to hear what God's saying to us; growth, the natural result of other things functioning well; reproduction, passing on our faith and training up others and the next generation; excretion, repentance of sin, dealing with unforgiveness; nutrition, doing the will of the Father and feeding on the Word. The heptagon, Mrs. Gren, it's a great tool for self-examination, a simple way to assess the vitality of your Christian life. Undertaking a review like this might lead to a kairos moment that sets you off on that circle of learning once again.